Let's jump right into it, guys. So, I gotta be honest with you, it almost felt like there was a media sin committed yesterday in the Arizona sports media landscape. You know, I don't even know where to start because it's infuriating to me because it feels like it shouldn't even have been a thing as I adjust my camera really quickly. Yesterday, Dan Bickley of Arizona Sports, who I have no issues with. I have no issues with Dan Bickley, no issues with really anyone in the Arizona sports media landscape. But yesterday, it almost felt like he committed one of those, like unspoken rules, like unwritten rules, like those things in baseball that aren't rules, but it feels like they should be. And yesterday, he suggested trading Devin Booker. I'm not going to play the full clip for you guys, but overall, he was right on one thing, which is something that I've been saying for years now. But of course, Kevin Durant fans didn't want to believe me in this aspect, but let's start with this part. He suggested that the Phoenix Suns trade Devin Booker. And I'm getting right to the chase here because there's no time for me to lollygag and beat around the bush. Bickley of Arizona Sports said the Phoenix Suns should explore trading Devin Booker. It has done massive numbers on social media. It has made its round through all things Suns Twitter yesterday. And I got to be honest with you, I never thought Twitter would ever get to me, and it almost did yesterday. Suns Twitter was a cesspool of nonsense on social media all day yesterday. Dan Bickley, whatever it was. People were not happy with what's been going on with the Phoenix Suns. Kevin Durant's posting and deleting tweets. I gotta be honest with you, stuff like that pisses me off. Because either say what you mean or don't say it at all. What you won't ever have to worry about on this show is I'm gonna give you my unfiltered opinion, my real, I'm not holding back here. I'm gonna tell you exactly how I feel. Some people like me for that, some people don't like me for that. People have told me often, like, I don't like you. Because of whatever, that's life. People like me, people don't. I don't have anything against someone. I'm not everyone's cup of tea. What I don't like is Kevin Durant posting tweets and then deleting them. Either think about what you're going to say and how it's going to affect everyone else, including you, or don't say it at all. And that's where it is with the Kevin Durant stuff on that side of things. But this idea, Dan Bickley threw out yesterday, you might need to trade Devin Booker. And I got to be honest with you. I was on that fence. I wasn't on the fence of trading Devin Booker last year. I said explore the idea of trading Devin Booker after the Phoenix Suns got swept in the first round of the playoffs. And I think I was just being emotional. Honestly, you really think about it. Where does it make sense to trade Devin Booker? And I was on this fence last year. And I think I was premature in my idea of trading Devin Booker. Because I was on the same island as a lot of you, which was, well, if you trade Devin Booker, you can bottom out, which you don't have your own draft picks, so I don't know how you would do that. You'd bottom out. You'd be able to get other people's draft picks that would be in the back of first rounds because they'd be so good getting a player like Devin Booker on their team. And you just basically have to hope and pray that someone falls in your lap. Here's why trading Devin Booker makes zero sense. It makes no sense. Let's say you do trade Devin Booker. Then what? It's very similar to my Kyler Murray argument. When people are like, get rid of Kyler Murray. And I'm like, okay, then what? And no one has an answer. You're just trading Kyler Murray or getting rid of Kyler Murray because it makes you feel better. It makes you validate your feelings that you felt all year long. Kyler Murray screws up in the second half of seasons. The Phoenix Suns have largely defecated all over themselves this year because of how bad it's been. And that's just something that you can't have. People are doing it because they feel like they need it, their feelings validated. So let me ask you this. It's the same question I'm going to ask you with Mike Budenholzer later on in the show. It's the same question I've been asking you with Kyler Murray. And now it's the same question with Devin Booker. You want to trade Devin Booker, then what? What's your backup plan? You're going to get a bunch of first. Let's say that they do trade Devin Booker to the Rockets. Let's just say that happens. And they get Ahmed Thompson, and they get Jabari Smith Jr. and Cam Whitmore and Fred VanVleet, and I don't know, some picks. I don't even know what picks they would get. The Suns picks and the Rockets picks, and it's a slew of players. We have no indication right now that Ahmed Thompson is going to be better than Devin Booker. We have no validation right now that any player the Suns get is going to be better than Devin Booker. Devin Booker at the peak of his powers in 2021 and 2022 was a top 10 player in the NBA. Who are you getting in a trade to replace that? And people will say, well, you could draft that guy. Yeah, you could still draft that guy. The Phoenix Suns will get picks from Kevin Durant when they trade him off. And you're right. You just have to get a little bit lucky in the draft. But let's say that the Phoenix Suns bottom out. Just completely bottom out. They're a 1 in whatever. They win 4 games all year or something ridiculous. And they get the number 1 overall pick, which, by the way, isn't even something that is a given. Because there's something called the draft lottery, which is a rigged carnival game, which only gives you about 12.5% chance or 14.5% chance or something ridiculously low of actually winning the draft lottery. In case you don't remember, the Atlanta Hawks, they just won the draft lottery last year. They were not one of the worst teams in the NBA. So the NBA draft lottery is a crapshoot. But let's say the Phoenix Suns get lucky and they win the draft lottery. Woo-hoo-hoo, draft lottery, baby. Draft lottery champions. Remember what happened when they won the draft lottery years ago? Drafted DeAndre Ayton over Luka Doncic. They drafted DeAndre Ayton over Luka Doncic. Luka Doncic is a top 5 player in the NBA. DeAndre Ayton is a top 5 headache in the NBA. Regardless of what DeAndre Ayton stands will tell you on social media, Portland Trail Blazers fans don't even want DeAndre Ayton there anymore. So this idea that if you trade Devin Booker, and this is really the crux of the argument here, let's just trade Devin Booker. Okay, then what? It's the same question with Kyler Murray. It's the same question with firing Mike Budenholzer, which, surprise, surprise, we'll get there in just a second. You want to trade Devin Booker, then what? What's your plan? Because if your plan is, well, if you are bad enough, you could get the number 1 overall pick. Okay, that doesn't mean you're getting the best player in the draft. That doesn't mean you're getting a budding superstar. Anthony Bennett and DeAndre Ayton would like a word with you. I mean, come on. Nonsense. It's just nonsense. You're just trading Devin Booker to validate your feelings. You're just trading a guy who has carried the franchise on his back, who hasn't asked for a trade, and wants to be here. Just to validate your feelings. If you think things are going to get better by rolling out a team of Ahmed Thompson and Jabari Smith Jr. and Cam Whitmore, basically the Rockets B team, and then Nick Richards and, I don't know, Bradley Beal, what is wrong with you? I can't even be polite about it anymore. Trading Kevin Durant, all in on, and I agree with it, and I would have done it last offseason, because you could still get a lot for KD. But the Suns, they don't have to just give up on Devin Booker. What they need to do is move on from Kevin Durant, get as much of a haul as you can get for him, take your licks for a couple of years with Bradley Beal being a terrible contract, move off that contract, and at that point, Devin Booker's 29, 30, 31. You're still in the crux of your prime, and you could still figure it out. But this idea, just trading someone just to trade someone's nonsense. And I hate the fact that we're even talking about this on February 25th, which is why I kind of got annoyed by Bickley throwing this out there, because it was like a unwritten rule that, you don't talk about this until the NBA season is over, because I want things to talk about when the NBA season is over. You got to kind of pace yourself. So throwing this out there made me feel like I had to throw my opinion out there, which is something that I was going to wait on later on in the season. Ask yourself this. What team has gotten better after they traded their best player? Or here, let me get more specific. What team has gotten better after trading a top 15 player in the NBA? Who? I'm waiting. This is not a thing. This idea that you'll get rid of Devin Booker and then get better, complete and utter nonsense. All right. Ivan, love this take, Ben. Thanks, man. I'm a little fired up this morning, and I'm a little irritated with a lot of Suns fans. But again, this is me, man. I'm not going to hold back. I'll tell you if you're being ridiculous. And I hope you guys do the same with me. This is not a one-way street. Sometimes I need to be told I'm a freaking... I'm an idiot.